Hello, let's do a quick walkthrough of the PipeMare University case. So you can obviously pause this as you need to. I'm going to go ahead and go down here. We're all going to be using this table here a little bit, but I'll just go ahead and just jump right in. All right, so the first level, it asks us to find the number of times a particular pipe appears. So we've got 10 pipes to the right. We're looking for how many times that one occurs. And the little hint here says use a count ifs or count ifs, either one of those. So I'm going to use count ifs. All right. Here's the range starting at 1 there, all the way across that we're looking for. That's where that's where we're looking. And this is what we're looking for right there. All right, we get to 3. And I'll just pull back up that formula right quick if you want to look at it. There's a little count ifs. Okay, that's level 1. Level 2, PipeMare addresses. Okay, I you count the given pipe that make up the pipe maze. All right, so over here's the pipe maze. We're going to look for these things here. So as it says, hint, use another counter count ifs. So here's our maze right here on the second worksheet. And I'll just maybe I'll just name this. We'll name it, but we don't really have to. Just type it up there in the corner. Maze. All right, but we don't have to do that. In fact, I'll do the first one without naming it, and then we'll do it again. Okay, so again, we're doing another count ifs. Okay, and the criteria range is going to be that maze. All right, so I'm not even going to use the name there. We'll just initially, of course, it did actually fill it in, didn't it? All right. Now we get back over, and we're looking for that item. The 20 there. Copy that down. And each time it's let's see, yeah, we're good to go there because it's keeping the since we're using a named range, retaining the cell references as we go down. Otherwise, I should have been locking that in with the dollar signs. All right, let's go on down to number 3 here. So we're going to be looking at what's in that particular cell in the maze. So that would be F4 right there. But to make it a little bit easier, we've got a list of all the cell addresses and what's in them. This figure here, so we can see it. Okay, let's go back here. And it says try to use an XLOOKUP function. XLOOKUP. XL for XLOOKUP. Lookup value, that's the F4. Okay, we're going to look down that column. Lookup array, go back over here. That's going to be starting there on BC3. I'm going to hold down my Control-Shift down arrow. Again, Control-Shift down arrow all the way down. I do want to put dollar signs on this to lock in the cell references. And the shortcut on a PC is F4. So what that does is lock in the references. So when I copy this down that column on the other page, in that level 3, it'll retain these addresses. All right. So that's the lookup array. Now we want to get the return array. So I'll need to go back up top. I guess I'll just come down here at the bottom. And again, I'm going to hold down my Control-Shift keys. Again, hold down Control-Shift and then up arrow to go back up. And we need to make sure it's the same dimensions. So we're starting on the same row 3 down through there. And we will lock this in as well. So again, the shortcut is F4 to do that. I need to put dollar signs on both of those. So again, with these dollar signs, what we're doing here is locking in those references on that other worksheet, the pipe maze worksheet. So down to level 4. So let's go back up and look at our table. So here's the table, starting on row 35 or 6 there. We're using these here, okay? And we're going to be looking up the given pipe, bringing this code in, this mapping code. So, all right, so let's go back down here and build our formula. This is level 4 here. All right, and we'll do this on the side. Okay, so a little XLOOKUP. again, and we can look up all three of these at once. Should be able to anyway. Okay, and where are we looking them up? That's up there in that table. Let's see if we run into any problems here. So here's where we're going to look them up. Then we'll lock those in with the address with that F4, so that won't change. And then we'll go back up and use the connects from mapping. All right, let's see if this works okay. All right, so this is giving us the codes that represent each pipe. Over here, I'm just going to copy this and put it up here so we can kind of compare and make sure. Okay, so that's what we're trying to create. So there's our XLOOKUP over there. And now we're going to join those things together with a concat function. So equal concat. Do this. And notice what it puts. It puts in a little hashtag because this is what's called spilling. That XLOOKUP spilled. And the little hashtag in it tells Excel, okay, we're going to pick up everything that's spilled from that particular function or formula, which was the XLOOKUP. Well, we could do all that together, but we'll just leave them separate. So I'm going to copy this down. Okay. So there's all those. And then I'll come back over here and copy this. All right. Copy that down. All right, go down to level 5. So getting a little bit harder here. Let's work this on the side. So we're going to do a connects from and connects to over here on the side. Again, there's different ways of working this. Okay, so we'll do connects from, and I want this to match up with our wording over here. And next door we'll do connects to. And the connects from is exactly like before, but we'll do everything here. So we'll do this first. We'll grab that. I'll need to make an edit of it probably. In fact, I know I will. All right, so let's look at what we got there. Okay, I picked that up correctly. Okay, and so that's the XLOOKUP. Just copied it and pasted it there. All right, and we're going to put the concat with that. So I'll dip up here in the formula bar, just type in the concat we had previously. Okay, now that's the connects from, because that's what we did up here in level 4. Now connects from, we'll just let me just copy this. So notice it's slid over, and what I can do, I'm just in edit mode here. Just hit F2 to edit. So again, I've got an NA tell me that something's wrong. All right, so if I do F2 to edit, okay, I can say, well, yeah, it's trying to find something it's trying to find nothing, right, for one of those. So what we can do to fix this is just drag it over, and while we're in edit mode, and that should get rid of the error. Okay, now currently we're getting the same thing. So I need to change the connects from to connects to up top. So let's go edit again. And we'll go up to the pipe table, okay, and so it's looking at the from. We want to go to the to, and I'll just drag this over, okay, all right, okay, and we'll copy these down. Okay, so again, this was a little bit more challenging. Okay, all right, and now we'll need to go over here and say, well, if it says connects to, grab that one. If it says connects from, grab column L. All right. And again, I'll just copy this up here so we compare. Okay. So how do we want to work this? Well, we can do another XLOOKUP. So we'll do a XLOOKUP. Ooh, XLOOKUP. Okay. Lookup that is going to be the mapping, whether it's connects to or connects from. And we want to look over here for that. So these need to match up in terms of the wording. Okay, the contents. I want to lock that in with the F4 $signs. And then what to bring back will be right here. Okay. And we'll leave this relative so that it moves with it. Okay, so no dollar signs on that. All right, let's see if what we've got here. That looks fine there. Okay, I'll hit F2 if you want to look at that form. Of course, you can see it there in the formula bar. Okay, so let's copy that down. All right, let's just make sure. We'll do a little, just pick one of these and make sure it's referring down here correctly. Yeah, so it's looking here for that on that particular game, 83. It's looking on the appropriate row. All right. We're still stuck. We're absolute reference. We're fixed referenced here. Okay. And this is moved with our copying and pasting. All right. So that's level 5. Okay. Level 6, a little bit harder here. Your friends ask you helping catalog pipes by the potential to connect in a given direction. Learn how many pipes can connect to or connect from the given direction. Okay. So again, this is a little bit more difficult. All right, so first we got mapping from or to, and then the direction. Now, what does the direction mean? Well, that's explained in more detail up here. And you look at the example or read through the example, but let me just go back up here right quick. Okay. All right, so on row, here we are. Well, here's what these codes mean. So there's a 4-digit code, and it's either connects to or connects from for the code. But a 1 means that it's has an up connection, that is one in the first place. 1 in the second place means a down connection, okay, and etc. here. So we got up, down, left, right, depending on which digit we're talking about, the first, second, third, or fourth. Okay, so let's go back down here. Then just do that, yeah, down here. Okay, so level 6 again is more difficult. So let's work this, I think, on another worksheet, and then copy our answers to this. So we'll call this. Well, let's go over here. So here's our game. Look at example 6. I want to do an XLOOKUP to pull the information. So we're looking for game example 6. That's over here in column B. And we want to return, starting in column G, these items here. All right. Okay. And let's go here and we'll come in handy. All right. Okay, that's what let me just drag that up above there a little bit. Okay, so there's our first, or our example, I should say. All right, so first thing we want to do, let's pull this out so we can see it. Okay, this connects from. We want the direction. Okay, and we'll just pull that out. You know, which item is it? That's the 4th digit. Okay, it's counting this direction. All right, so we'll use a search function for that, and we're looking for a 1. So we're trying to get which digit do we want to look at? We want to look at the last one, the 4th one. All right, and when we get the codes for this for connects from. Okay. So let's do a XLOOKUP like we did on an earlier level. We're going to do one at a time, though. Okay, so we're looking for that. That's going to be over here in our table. That. And we want to return both of these. So I didn't want to lock that in. Go ahead and do that. So F4 there. Continue back these. All right, lock those in. Okay, so that's for this particular pipe. That's connects from, connects to. All right, and like we did the previous level, we want to select which one of those. Now, in this case, they're both the same, but they won't be for some of these other ones. All right, so we'll do another XLOOKUP to look up for the connects from. Say, well, we want the first one or the second one. So another XLOOKUP. Okay, we're going to look for that. And select that in with the F4. Do that first. Okay. All right. And where we're looking, we'll go back over to our table. So we won't connect from or connects to. Lock that in. And put in the parentheses there. Okay. So that's just that first one. Okay. And so then we'll pull this across. Let's see if this is working okay. So I'll go F2. Yeah, it's looking there. Okay, so we're good to go there. Okay, so for each one of these, I want the fourth digit, the last one on the right. Okay, and based on that, given that 4 there. All right, so we'll do that down here, maybe. Okay, so we'll do a mid function. We can do all these at once or just one at a time. Let's just do one there. Start number, getting the fourth item, and just the first character. Okay, so that's that last 0. All right, let me go back. I've locked in the wrong thing, I believe. Yeah, I locked in the J8. That's not what I want to lock in. So let's get rid of the dollar signs on it. And it's the I8. And that 4 is I wanted to lock in. Okay. All right, now let's drag it across. Okay, so we're looking for how many connections are there to the given mapping and direction, and that's it's the ones where we have A1. So we just add these up. Now they are text, so I have to do a little bit something different here. But let's go over here. We'll do our answer over here. This is Rev 6 answer. And we'll do a sum. If we put 2 minus signs in front of that, these will add up. Okay. All right. So if I take those, these are text. Okay. This is mid function returns text. All right. And if I just try to sum those up, notice I get 0 because it's saying, well, these are text. You can't, adding text together, you don't get any, you just get zeros. So one way to fix that is to put 2 minus signs in front of it. Okay, and that changes those to numbers. All right. Okay, so that's our correct answer. Let me go over here and let me get back down. Level 6. Yeah, there's a 2. All right, and we're looking here. So as I change this, the next game is 101. All right. So if I change this from example 6 to 101, I'll get an updated set of parameters, inputs, I should say, and make that a little bit bigger, and we get an answer for that particular game. All right. So here's type back in example 6 there, and here's the game. Okay, so we're going to use what's called a data table to generate all these. So this starts at 101. Okay, there's 20 of them. And we'll just do it this way. All right. If I just drag those down, if I started the sequence, it goes down to 120. All right, so we're going to use a data table to plug in different values here out of these series of numbers, 101, 102. That's the game numbers. All right, so here's how you run a data table. It's going to give us back the answer for each individual game. Okay, so you first highlight the area, and then we go on the ribbon to data. And then on the right, there's what if, data table. Now, here, it says row input, column input. Our table here that we've set up, their input values, the game numbers are in a column. So we'll leave the row input blank. Excel wants to know, well, where to plug in these numbers here, these game numbers. We want it to plug it in F6 and give us back the answer that we calculated there in D13. All right, so it's going to take, once I hit OK, it's going to take each one of these values one at a time, 101, 102, 103, the game numbers, plug it into F6, give us the answers for each one of those. All right, that's what's called a data table. Okay, all right, so there's our values, our answers. So we'll just select those, off Control C, and then we'll paste them over here. Okay, and I need to paste just the values. So one way to do that is to right click, and then the 1, 2, 3 is just values, Sometimes it acts up a little bit. We'll see if it works okay. Yeah, it did. Okay, but again, what I did was just right click, 1, 2, 3. All right, so there's our answers. Okay, let's go down to level 7. All right, do not connect to the previous pipe. Okay, well, that's where some of the positions. All right, so again, even this is pretty difficult. Okay, so bear with me. All right, so let's copy our sheet here. We'll do this over a different worksheet again. Let's see, we'll do the copy, create a copy, and this is going to be level 7. Okay. All right, so let's change this. It's example 7. All right, and let's see what we've got over here for the, I need to change this. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, so we need to just change all that. Okay, so we'll edit this. So we're still looking, let's hit here F2 to edit. So we're good to go there. We're good to go with column B. And now we need to change this, and we can just type it in. Let's see, it should be G to P. G to P. All right. Okay, change that to P. Okay, and let's change this. These are 1, 2, and there's what's called a sequence function I can be using, but I'll let you look at that again. Again, I can do that with a sequence function, the 1 through 10. All right, and let's see, we'll get rid of that. Need that. Okay. All right, and we'll use this. Okay, just need that the first XLOOKUP, so I'll get rid of the. We'll use the second XLOOKUP, so let's get rid of that. All right, let's see what I've got here. Let's delete that. Okay. Maybe I should have just started from scratch on the XLOOKUP. Okay. All right. And I just need one. We'll just do this will be the from column. So I'll just change that to J. Okay. This is from, and this is to. And when I mean from, that's connects from. All right. Let's make sure that that's the case. It should be, or we just do the F2 and then we can jump over here and look. Okay, I think we can anyway. Let's make sure. All right, looking for that table. That was not showing up. Connects to is column I. From is column J. All right. Okay. All right, so that is the from. Okay, for each one of those. And then we'll copy that down. Okay. And we need to edit it. All right, so it needs to be still looking there. Okay. So we'll get back the same thing, but we're going to change that. Edit that. So F2 to edit. And instead of going to column J, we want it to be column I. Okay. All right, so there's our from and to. Now, all right, let's look over here. Go back down to our level. All right, so as a hint, pipe B, we can think about that as being pipe 2, cannot connect to pipe A. When none of pipe B's connect from mapping matches pipe A's connect to. Okay. All right. And you think about 1 being pipe A and 2 being pipe B. All right. Okay, so let's go back over here. All right, one thing I want to do, let's put the 2 on top. So I'm just going to grab the from and just drag it down. That won't change any of the formulas, just change it where it's calculating. Okay, it says we're always down to there, but we'll just say I'm not sure what's there. Okay, all right, that's fine. We'll work this over here in column C and D here. All right, so these 2 don't connect, right? Notice that the 2 here doesn't match up anything here. So again, there's 1 1 0 0, and then here's 0 0 1 1. So no connection. Look next door. Look at 2 and 3. All right. So they do connect, because at least one of those, in this case, the last digit matches up here. All right. Okay. So one way to work this is simply to add up the numbers and see do we have any 2s at all. So let's just do that when we kind of talk through it. So I'll just do some. Okay. Now these are text, but I think if I just do equals, oh no, I need to start next door here. Okay, start here for 2. So equals the from pipe 1 plus this. Let's see if that'll work. Yeah, okay. So we don't get any 2s, so those don't connect. I can drag this over. Just drag it all the way down. All right, we get a 2 here in one of those places. Okay, what we're doing is adding up here. Those do connect. All right. The next 2 don't. No 2s. Here we've got a connection because that can slide down and fit in. All right. So again, any place we see a 2, we've got a connection. All right. So our answer is going to be, and I'll just change this from level 6 answer to level 7 answer. Okay. How many of these do we find a 2 in? All right. So let's do a search here. Okay. I'll just label it for 2. All right. So it finds a 2 at any position. So we'll do equal search. Okay. Find text. We're looking for a 2 anywhere up there. All right. And let me just drag it across so you can see what's happening here. Okay, so where it finds a value of 2, that is, it gives us back where it found it. Otherwise, it gives us back a value. So we'll clean this up a little bit, like this. If is number. Okay, so if we get back a number like a 4 or a 1, 2, or 3, okay, this number is going to give us back the answer of true, in which case we've got a connection. Otherwise, we don't have a connection. All right, so we should get back a value of 1 where we got numbers now. And so we can do this. Okay. All right. That's one way to do it. So anyway, we've got a 1, we've got a connection, 0 not. But let's might be a little bit simpler. Yeah, let's do it a little bit simpler. Let's do this if is number. We'll use what's called if error. Okay, so if the search doesn't work, back here. Okay, so there's our search. If it doesn't work, we'll tell it to give us back a 0. If it does work, it's going to be a number, either 1, 2, 3, or 4. All right, let's see if that works. Okay, let's drag that across. All right, so either one of these ways would work if it's a little bit simpler. All right, so again, we've got connections there, 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 the last 3. Okay, I misspelled the word search. All right, so let's see, what's this looking for? All right, it says to add up the positions. Okay, add up the positions. That is the pipe numbers. So we're going to add the 3, the 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, if I read that right. Okay, so now we can just sum these up. All right, so equals the sum. Which ones do not connect? Which ones do not connect? And correction on, we're summing up the ones that don't connect. So we're summing up the 2, the 4, the 6. All right. So how do we do that? Well, we can do it this way. What's called a sum ifs. We're going to sum these up here. All right. But only if we get a value of 0 down here. Okay. So that's what we're going to sum up, but just to select ones out of this range here. When it's a value of 0, it's going to be our criteria, right? So again, this is a little bit more difficult for sure. Okay, that's our 12, which is the example 7 answer. I do need to change these. So let's see, this should start out with 121, 122. I can just copy that down. Okay, and it's already updated, so it still ran the table for us. Just to do that one more time. So we're backing up. So there's our sum ifs. Okay, we're just summing up those that have a value of 0. All right. Let me just rerun the table. Okay. So how to do the table? Okay, you highlight the area, go to Data, What If, Data Table, and we want Excel to plug in these game numbers in F6. And these are presented in a column. So over here in the column, select that. Okay. And again, there's our answer. So if I type in 124, I should get a value of 7 here. That is right there. Okay. 124. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Let's take it back to example 7. And I've been a little bit wordy on this, so my apologies. Okay, well, let's copy that and we'll paste special here. Okay. All right, now we got the bonus ones, so let's go up there and look at those right quick. All right, in level 2 answers, what's the total number of elements that are not pipes values in pipe sources or outlets? All right, that are not pipe sources or outlets. Okay, that's level 2 answers. All right, so bonus 1. Okay, so let's copy, grab those right quick, and let's go down here to level 2. I'm just going to paste those right there. Okay, so we want to count the answers that are not for these, however many things there are there. All right, so I want to count the number that are these, and then we'll subtract it from the overall total. So we'll do a little sum ifs here. So we're going to sum the answers. Okay. Okay, and our range, criteria range is these elements. And does it match I'll say, does it match this one? And I can put all these in at one time, okay? And it'll generate all of them. All right, so there's just that first one there, the 162, but it's going to add up all those. So our answer is going to be, we'll go back up here and calculate it. So we'll equal the sum of all the level 2 answers. Then also subtract these out. So another sum, and subtract these out. Okay. All right, level 3. Good example. There's how many times that element present. All right, so this is a little bit challenging. Let's go down to level 3. Okay, and introduce another function for you. So what I'd like to do is get a unique list of these things. So there is a unique function actually. And let's give us so okay. So that's the list. All right. So there's not a whole lot of repeat there, and then we can count the number of times those things, each one of those things appear. So we did a count ifs before, or count if or count ifs. All right, so here's where we're looking. Oh, went down too far. Okay. All right, and I can put all these in at the same time. And then it goes to a hashtag. It's going to look at each one of those individually. It gives back how many times it showed up. So the vertical pipe only showed up once. I guess that's a leaf. It showed up 3 times. And let's see, I think we wanted the count, right? And that's the only one that showed up 3 times. That one's just once. Okay. Yeah, how many times? So 3 there. All right. How many pipes are like that? That's in levels 4 and 5. Okay, so we use a count ifs here again. Well, we probably have to use 2 count ifs unless we were to pull things together a little bit, but let's just do the first count ifs. Count ifs, or count if, either one. All right, I'm looking for, well, let's go down here. We need to, it's level 4 and 5. Okay. All right, so therefore we're looking. All right, and we're looking for, let's go back up. Looking for that element. Okay, so there's 8 in level 4. Let's do another count if. So just a plus here. Count if or count ifs. All right, and we'll go down and get level 5. Level 5, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All that. And go back up. Just do control backspace to go all the way back up. And again, we're looking for that element. Right. Oh, no, I did the wrong one, didn't I? That should be okay, we'll need to change that. Okay, so what I can do is just, should be that one. And that one, there we go. Okay. So I got a 10 on that. And then the bonus 4. In the pipe maze, was the total number of pipes that connect to the right. Okay. All right. So connect to the right. Okay. So we need to think about which pipes connect to the right. Let's see. The vertical, that one, and that one, right? Okay. All right. So let's let me just copy these over here. We'll do the work right here to the side. Okay. Could copy that one at the same time. And then this one. So these are the 3 that connect to the right. We want to count how many times they appear in the pipe maze, and that's over here in this picture thing, okay, or maze thing. All right, so we'll do another count if. So we've been using a lot of count ifs, haven't we? Okay, so we're looking at that maze. Okay, I actually think I named that, but we'll just, yeah, so I did name it maze. I didn't have to name it, but that's that whole area. All right, go back over here and looking for that one. All right. Okay, so 139 of those, and since this is a named range that's locked in, I can just drag this down. Okay, and then we'll sum it up. All right, so there's 139 of those, 64 and 79, and yep. So we just need to sum those up. Sum those up. Okay, so 282 there. Last one here. Looking at level 7. What's the total number of pipes that do not connect to the previous pipe in the sequence? All right. So we'll have to go back here and to go back to our level 7. Okay. And okay, so here we're at our level 7 work, and we're now asked to count, well, how many pipes across all the games did not connect. So that's going to be the ones that are zeros, okay? All right, and this is just looking at example 7. So let's come over here and we'll add another column to our table, our data table. So this is going to be for our bonus 4. I'm going to just say do not connect, so we can see it. All right, and we're just going to count the ones that are zeros. How many zeros do we have here in this row? All right. So another count ifs, okay? Or you could use count if. I know I've been using count ifs all the time. I'll just do count if this time. All right. So count if. There's our range. I'm going to count all those that are 0. Okay. All right. And we run our data table. We go to data. What if? Data table. Okay, so I've got this new column selected. All right. The input, again, is taking the game numbers, plugging up into F6. Okay, so there we go. So in game 121, there's only one that doesn't connect. Let's just share that to see 121 here. All right, there's only 1 0. Okay, everything else connects. All right. Okay, change that back. Example 7. And then our answer is just going to be the sum of those. All right. So this is bonus 5 equals the sum. Everything but the example. So starting on game 121 all the way down. All right, so 46. 46. Okay. Now we just type that in. All right. All right, so I was a bit long-winded with that. Hope you enjoy the case. And saw some new things that might help you with next competitions. Take care.